You know what kills confidence faster than anything? Not being able to put both feet down. Today, we're counting down 10 motorcycles where shorter and older riders can actually flat foot at stoplights. And stick around, because number 1 has a seat height so low it makes 30-inch inseam riders feel like giants. These aren't just low bikes. These are motorcycles engineered for real-world confidence when you're 5'5" or shorter. Number 10, the Honda Rebel 1100. The Rebel 1100 sits at 27.5 inches, which sounds perfect on paper. But here's the reality. That seat width matters just as much as height. The Rebel's seat is narrow at the contact point, around 12 inches wide where your legs hang. This means riders with a 29 to 31 inch inseam can get both feet completely flat. If you're 28 inches or less, you'll still get the balls of both feet down solidly, which is enough for confidence. The bike weighs 487 pounds wet, and here's why that matters. The center of gravity is incredibly low. The engine sits low in the frame, the fuel tank is positioned low. Everything conspires to make this bike feel lighter than it actually is. When you're at a stoplight, you're not fighting the weight, trying to tip over. The bike just sits there, stable and planted. Quick one. If this list is helping you find bikes you can actually handle hit-like, so we know to make part 2. Honda offers a low suspension option that drops the seat to 26.1 inches. That's a massive difference for shorter riders. The trade-off? You lose about half an inch of ground clearance. For street riding, that's completely fine. For aggressive cornering or off-road use, you might scrape occasionally. Most riders take that trade gladly for the confidence. Here's the beginner mistake. This bike prevents buying a bike you can't handle at stops. New riders often choose bikes based on looks or power, then discover they can't manage them at 0 miles per hour. The Rebel's low height and narrow seat mean you're in control from day one. Returning riders downsizing from bigger bikes appreciate how the Rebel doesn't punish them with height or weight. But here's the caution. Low doesn't mean easy to ride. The Rebel 1100 makes 87 horsepower, which is substantial. The DCT automatic transmission helps, but you still need to respect the power. This isn't a tiny beginner bike, it's a full-size cruiser that happens to be low. Used Rebel 1100 bikes run $8,000 to $10,000 for 2021 to 2023 models. New MSRP is $9,500 to $11,000 with DCT. The low seat and manageable weight make this the modern cruiser for riders who need confidence at stops. Number 9. The Kawasaki Vulcan S. The Vulcan S sits at 27.8 inches standard, but Kawasaki's 𝐏𝐄𝐑 system is the game changer here. You can get a reduced reach seat that drops it to 26.4 inches. The seat width is narrow, around 11.5 inches at the contact point. Riders with a 28 to 30 inch inseam can flat foot this bike easily with the low seat option. Weight is 498 pounds, wet with a low center of gravity. That parallel twin engine sits tucked in low, and the fuel tank position keeps weight centralized. At stops, the bike feels lighter than 500 pounds. You're not wrestling with top-heavy weight distribution like some cruisers. The 𝐏𝐿𝐼 system offers 3 seat heights, 3 handlebar positions, and 2 foot peg positions. This means you can dial in the bike to your exact body dimensions. For shorter riders, the reduced reach configuration is perfect. Lower seat, closer bars, forward pegs. The trade-off? The reduced reach setup costs about $300 to $400 more than standard. Beginner mistake, this prevents fighting a bike that doesn't fit your body. The 𝐏𝐿𝐼 system means the Vulcan S actually fits riders from 5'2" to 6'4". Returning riders with shorter inseams don't have to compromise on modern features or comfort. The caution, even though it's low, the Vulcan S is still a 650 cubic centimeters bike with 61 horsepower. It's not overwhelming, but new riders need to respect the power. The parallel twin delivers power smoothly, which helps, but you're still on a legitimate motorcycle, not a scooter. Used Vulcan S bikes run $4,500 to $6,000 for 2015 to 2020 models. New MSRP is $7,500 to $8,000. The 𝐏𝐿𝐼 system makes this the most adjustable bike for shorter riders. Number 8. The Yamaha Vstar 250. The Vstar 250 sits at 27 inches with a narrow seat, around 10.5 inches wide. Riders with a 27 to 29 inch inseam can flat foot this bike completely. If you're 26 inches or less, you'll get both balls of feet down solidly, which is still confidence inspiring. This bike weighs just 324 pounds wet, Let me repeat that, 324 pounds. That's light enough that if the bike starts to tip at a stop, you can catch it without struggling. The V-twin engine is small and low, keeping the center of gravity near the ground. At stoplights, this bike just sits there, requiring minimal effort to keep upright. What's your biggest fear when stopping at lights? Tipping over, not reaching the ground, or dropping the bike? Let us know in the comments. Yamaha doesn't offer a factory low seat option because at 27 inches, it's already low. Aftermarket companies make seats that drop at another ½ inch, but honestly, at this height, most riders don't need it. The trade-off with aftermarket seats is often reduced padding, which makes long rides less comfortable. Beginner mistake this prevents: buying too much bike too soon. The Vstar 250 is small, light, and manageable. New riders build confidence on it without fear of dropping a heavy bike. Returning riders who've been away from motorcycles for years appreciate how forgiving this bike is. The caution: this is a 249 cubic centimeters bike making 21 horsepower. It's perfect for local riding and short commutes, but highway use is marginal. You'll struggle to maintain 70 miles per hour for extended periods. This is a confidence builder, not a long-distance tourer. Used Vstar 250 bikes run $2,000 to $4,500 for 2008 to 2017 models. New MSRP was around $4,500 before Yamaha discontinued it. This is the lightest, most manageable option for the shortest riders. Number 7. The Suzuki Boulevard S40 Savage 650. The Boulevard S40 sits at 27.6 inches with a narrow single-cylinder design. The seat width is about 11 inches at the contact point. Riders with a 28 to 30-inch inseam can flatfoot this bike. The narrow profile helps shorter riders get their feet down more easily than wider cruisers. Weight is 381 pounds wet. That single-cylinder engine is compact and low-mounted, creating a low center of gravity. At stops, the bike feels light and easy to manage. You're not dealing with bulky V-twin width or top-heavy fuel tanks. Everything about the design favors shorter riders. Suzuki offers a low seat option that drops the height to 26.4 inches. That inch makes a huge difference for riders with 26 to 27-inch inseams. The trade-off is minimal. You lose maybe a quarter inch of ground clearance, which matters almost never in real-world street riding. Beginner mistake this prevents: fear of the bike falling over. The S40 is so light and low that even if you do tip it while stopped, you can catch it. New riders gain confidence quickly because the bike isn't intimidating physically. Returning riders appreciate the simplicity. It's just a single cylinder with a carburetor. No complicated electronics to learn. The caution: that single cylinder vibrates. At highway speeds, the buzz through the bars and seat is noticeable. It's not dangerous, but it can be fatiguing on long rides. This is a bike for shorter trips, where the low seat and lightweight matter more than smooth highway cruising. Used Boulevard S40 bikes run $1,500 to $4,000 for 2005 to 2017 models. Suzuki discontinued it, so used is your only option. This is the budget-friendly option for shorter riders who want simple, reliable, low-seat confidence. Number 6. The Harley-Davidson Sportster Super Low. The Super Low lives up to its name with a seat height of 25.5 inches. The seat width is moderate, around 13 inches at the contact point. Riders with a 26 to 28-inch inseam can flatfoot this bike completely. Even riders with 24 to 25-inch inseams get both balls of feet down solidly. Weight is 545 pounds wet, which is heavier than the previous bikes, but Harley engineered the Sportster with a low center of gravity. That 883 cubic centimeters V-twin sits low in the frame, and the fuel tank position keeps weight centered. At stops, it feels manageable despite the weight. You're not fighting physics to keep it upright. Want more confidence-building bike lists? Subscribe, and we'll keep them coming. Harley offers multiple seat options, including an ultra-low option that gets you to 24.5 inches. That's incredibly low for a real motorcycle with legitimate power. The trade-off? The ultra-low seat is firm and offers less padding than the standard seat. Long rides might be less comfortable, but for confidence at stops, it's unbeatable. Beginner mistake this prevents: buying a bike you can't physically manage. The Sportster Super Low is a real Harley with real power, about 52 horsepower. But the low seat means new riders and shorter riders can handle it. Returning riders who want the Harley experience without the intimidating seat height choose this specifically for that reason. The caution: 545 pounds is not light. If the bike starts to go over while stopped, you'll struggle to catch it. The low seat helps you get feet down, but you still need to be aware of the weight. Slow speed maneuvering requires attention and practice. Used Sportster super low bikes run $6,000 to $9,000 for 2011 to 2020 models. New MSRP was around $9,000 to $10,000 before Harley discontinued the Sportster line. This is the Harley option for shorter riders who refuse to compromise on the brand. Number 5. The Honda Grom. The Grom sits at 30 inches, which sounds high for a small bike, but the narrow seat, about 9 inches wide, makes all the difference. Riders with a 28 to 31 inch inseam can flat-foot this bike completely. The narrow profile means your legs hang straight down without spreading wide. Weight is 229 pounds wet. This is incredibly light. If the bike tips, you can hold it up with one hand while standing next to it. At stoplights, the Grom is effortless. There's no fear of dropping it because even if you do, you can pick it up easily. Honda doesn't offer a low seat option because the Grom is already tiny. Aftermarket companies make lowering links that drop the rear suspension half an inch to an inch. The trade-off is reduced suspension travel, which makes the ride harsher over bumps. For street use, most riders don't bother with lowering. The standard height works fine. Beginner mistake. This prevents fear of the motorcycle itself. The Grom is so small and light that it removes all intimidation. New riders learn clutch control, throttle management, and braking without fear. Returning riders who've been away from bikes for decades appreciate how unthreatening the Grom is. The caution: this is a 125 cubic centimeters bike making 9.7 horsepower. It tops out at about 60 miles per hour on flat ground. This is not a highway bike. It's for local streets, commuting, and fun. But for building confidence and learning to ride again, it's perfect. Used Groms run $2,500 to $3,500 for 2014 to 2022 models. New MSRP is $3,700. This is the playful option for shorter riders who want pure fun and zero intimidation. Number 4. The Indian Scout 60. The Scout 60 sits at 25.3 inches with a moderate seat width around 12.5 inches. Riders with a 26 to 28 inch inseam can flat-foot this bike. The narrow tank and low seat combine to give exceptional confidence at stops. Weight is 558 pounds wet. And here's where Indian did something smart. That 999 cubic centimeters V-twin is liquid-cooled and mounted low in the frame. The center of gravity is near the ground, not up high like air-cooled twins. At stoplights, the Scout feels balanced and stable, not top-heavy. Indian offers a low seat option that drops the height to 24.5 inches. Combined with forward controls, this creates a riding position where even 5'2" riders can flat-foot completely. The trade-off is minimal, maybe a quarter inch of ground clearance lost, which almost never matters on the street. Beginner mistake. This prevents choosing a bike based on looks alone. The Scout 60 looks like a big, powerful cruiser, and it is powerful, 78 horsepower. But the low seat means shorter riders can actually handle it. Returning riders who remember when all cruisers had 30-inch seat heights are amazed at how accessible the Scout is. What's your inseam measurement, and can you flat-foot your current bike? Let us know in the comments. The caution: 558 pounds is substantial. The low center of gravity helps, but if the bike starts tipping, you'll need strength to catch it. Slow-speed U-turns and parking lot maneuvering require practice. This is a real bike with real weight. Used Scout 60 bikes run $7,000 to $9,000 for 2016 to 2020 models. New MSRP is around $9,500. This is the modern American cruiser for shorter riders who refuse to compromise on style or power. Number 3. The Suzuki TU250X. The TU250X sits at 30.3 inches, but the incredibly narrow seat, about 8.5 inches wide, makes it feel much lower. Riders with a 29 to 32 inch inseam can flat-foot this bike completely because your legs drop straight down without spreading wide. Weight is 326 pounds, wet with a low center of gravity. This dual sport is designed to be thrown around off-road, which means on-road it's incredibly easy to manage. At stoplights, you barely notice the weight. The bike just sits there, stable and neutral. Suzuki doesn't offer a low seat option, but aftermarket lowering links are available for about $100 to $150. You can drop the rear suspension 1 to 2 inches. The trade-off is reduced ground clearance and harsher ride quality over bumps. For dual sport use, you lose some off-road capability. For street-only riding, it's worth considering. Beginner mistake is this prevents being intimidated by tall bikes. Dual sport bikes look tall because of their suspension travel, but the narrow seat means shorter riders can actually handle them. New riders discover they can ride bikes they thought were too tall. Returning riders who want versatility, street and light off-road, find the TU250X surprisingly accessible. The caution: this is a 249 cubic centimeters single cylinder making 20 horsepower. It's great for local riding and light trails, but highway use is marginal. You'll maintain 65 miles per hour on flat ground, but headwinds or hills will slow you down. This is a versatility bike, not a highway tourer. TU250X bikes run $3,000 to $5,000 for 2009 to 2020 models. Suzuki discontinued it, so used is your only option. This is the dual sport option for shorter riders who want to explore beyond pavement. Number 2, the Kawasaki Z125 Pro. The Z125 Pro sits at 31.5 inches, but like the Grom, the narrow seat makes it work. The seat width is about 10 inches, and riders with a 30 to 32 inch inseam can flat-foot this bike. And the upright riding position and narrow tank help shorter riders feel comfortable. Weight is 226 pounds wet. This is ridiculously light for a real motorcycle. At stops, you could balance this bike on one finger. There's zero fear of dropping it because even if you do, you can pick it up with one hand. The lightweight means beginner riders gain confidence instantly. Kawasaki doesn't offer a low seat because the bike is designed for newer riders as IEs. Aftermarket lowering links exist, but at this weight and with this narrow profile, most riders don't need them. The trade-off with lowering is always reduced suspension travel, which makes the ride harsher. Beginner mistake this prevents buying too much bike and getting overwhelmed. The Z125 Pro is small, light, and has gentle power delivery. New riders learn the fundamentals without fear. Returning riders who haven't been on a bike in 20 years appreciate how the Z125 builds confidence without demanding perfection. The caution: this is a 124 cubic centimeters bike making 15 horsepower. Highway riding is possible but not comfortable. You'll maintain 65 miles per hour on flat ground, but passing or headwinds become challenges. This is a local bike for city streets, short commutes, and learning. Use Z125. Pro bikes run $2,000 to $3,000 for 2017 to 2022 models. New MSRP is $3,400. This is the budget option for shorter riders who want a real motorcycle experience without intimidation. Number 1, the Honda Monkey. The Monkey sits at 30.7 inches, but wait, before you think that's too high, the seat width is 7.5 inches. That's incredibly narrow. Riders with a 28 to 31 inch inseam can flat-foot this bike completely because your legs drop straight down. The narrow profile means even shorter inseams can get both balls of feet down. Weight is 229 pounds wet. This bike is so light, you can pick it up and move it around by hand when it's not running. At stoplights, there is zero concern about weight or balance. The bike requires almost no effort to keep upright. Honda doesn't offer a low seat because the Monkey is designed to be accessible as is. The narrow seat, lightweight, and upright riding position combine to make this the most confidence-inspiring bike set for short riders. There's no trade-off needed because the design already prioritizes accessibility. Beginner mistake: this prevents fear of motorcycles entirely. Yet the Monkey looks playful and approachable, not intimidating. New riders who are nervous about dropping a bike find the Monkey impossible to fear. Returning riders who stopped riding because they couldn't handle heavier bikes discover the Monkey brings back pure joy without physical demands. The caution: this is a 124 cubic centimeters bike making 9.4 horsepower. It's designed for fun, not transportation. Top speed is about 60 miles per hour. This is for local streets, weekend cruises, and smiling. If you need highway capability or long-distance touring, look elsewhere. But for pure confidence and joy on two wheels, nothing beats it. Used Monkeys run $3,000 to $4,000 for 2019 to 2023 models. New MSRP is $4,000. This is number 1 because it represents the ultimate solution for shorter, older riders who just want to ride without fear, stress, or physical struggle. The Honda Monkey proves that confidence comes from the right bike for your body, not from forcing yourself onto something too tall or too heavy. It's the bike that makes flat footing effortless and brings back the joy of riding. Click the next video to continue the road trip Join our tribe by subscribing. And if you want to support our channel and have early access on the newest videos, become a member. And don't forget to like this video.